Hello, Stratters. It's CreepEvee, and we are back, fresh off of our month of Halloween. And so, even though we have made it into November now, I figured that the taste of Halloween is probably still not out of our minds. We still got a little candy stuck between our teeth, so why not enjoy Halloween just a little bit more? Doing the Innistrad throwback was something that I really wanted to do for Halloween month, but I had several decks that I wanted to play, so we ended up not having time for it. But we can do it now. I haven't I didn't really look at the decks that much. I just quickly looked over them, and I'm getting ready to load it up. I have my tickets all set up. That way I can just load it up really fast. So I don't know what I'm going to get yet. Obviously, these are random. If you haven't played in the standard throwbacks, you sign up. It's 10 tickets or 100 play points, and you get one of, I think, 8 decks. But the decks are intended to be, I think, in fact, they are deck lists from top finishes in different tournaments during different eras. This one covers Innistrad, the 2 years that Innistrad was legal, so September 2011 to August 2013. Obviously, Innistrad very Halloween themed, so that was my idea behind trying to jump in on this one, but it doesn't have a lot of time left, and then we'll be going into the next one, which is the recent past, so it'll be things that are pretty relevant to players that play now. I was not around for the Innistrad era. It is one of my favorite sets to go back to because I think it's really cool, but this was not exactly my era that I was in, so it'll be interesting for me. But enough for my yammering. Let's quickly go over the decks that we have the potential to get. Like I said, we get random ones assigned to us, and then we play how many rounds? From the list below. Yeah, and it's a phantom draft, so you won't actually keep the cards that you get. So you're paying the $10 to essentially just get to play with the cards. But you do have rewards, obviously. You can win some play points out of them. It's 3 rounds of Swiss. So first deck is Pod, kind of our birthing pod at a little bit weird stage in its life, back with Mortar Pod and everything. I remember seeing some of these lists. So, ooh, Elshnorn. So it looks like this one gets access to some pretty nasty stuff. So this could definitely be one that I wouldn't mind getting. It seems kind of my play style. I kind of like the sacking off creatures and everything. So doesn't seem like a bad choice for me. Tempered Steel pretty much looks like white playing the good old affinity deck that we're commonly used to by now in Modern. So you're getting a lot of what you see in your standard package for Affinity now, but a little bit different. Obviously, not with the what is it? The Thrasher or something that it is. That's the one that eats things and can eat itself and get counters. So Wolf on Ramp. This is one that I really like because I like red-green, and I do like Kessig Wolf Run, so this could be fun for me. It looks like they get some pretty fun stuff, though. Acidic Slime, Birds of Paradise. I can't even imagine being in Standard with Birds of Paradise. That sounds amazing. Solemn, Primeval Titan, so a little bit of that Titan Scape Shift feel, but obviously none there. But definitely a lot of nasty stuff, and then that Kessig Wolf Run making it especially nasty. That looks good to me. Delver, so good old Delver. Even back then, he was making a splash, and still is to this day. I think that we're used to that even in Pauper, so we've seen you a little bit, buddy. So this looks like very standard stuff. And this was even kind of early, even for Delver, and he was still this dominant. So probably a good one to get. I don't know whether it's like my play style, but I wouldn't mind getting it because I think it would do well. So Rakdos aggro, I could see this being fun. Gravecrawler, Diregraph Ghoul. So pretty well known zombies that you've got to work with here. Seems good. Like it, simple but effective. Like red and black strategy. I like it. I first started out in Magic with red and black, so I can work with that. We've got Bant Auras, so this could be interesting. So our enchantments: Abundant Growth, Rancor, Spectral Flight, Curiosity. So kind of, what do you call it these days? Boggles, kind of like Boggles without the boggles. But it looks pretty solid. So I've never played Boggles. I've wanted to for a while, so maybe this will be my version of Boggles. Aristocrat seems like my kind of thing. I do really like modern takes on the deck. And this one looks really good because, well, I mean, like I said, I like Aristocrat decks and I like this set. So this looks actually really fun. This is probably one of the ones that I'm mostly hoping to get. God, Lingering Souls in Standard, that is a scary idea. Out of all of them, though, I feel like, well, no, I think there's other things that I'd prefer to get over Esper Control, but Esper Control does seem really good. We got some Planeswalkers to work with, which is my MO there, so I would love to see that. Just it pretty standard for the way that you see Esper Control go. Junk Reanimator, this is one of the ones, this is probably the one that I want the most, because I like Reanimator decks, and this one seems really fun. I like it a lot. Wow, Restoration Angel, man, back then, this must have been an interesting standard to play in. Man, Abrupt Decay, Grizzly Salvage, Mulch on Burial Rites in Standard. Good lord, that sounds amazing. Jund pretty much plays the same way that it plays now. They didn't get much different than what they use. Pretty straightforward deck. I mean, now back then, you know, you had Bonfires of the Damned was more their way to win. But this looks good. We got my girl, my MTG waifu over here, Olivia Voldaren, so that one looks good to me. And we get some Garrett Primal Hunter action there. I think Jund would probably be number 2 behind the Reanimator deck. So this one looks really interesting. I think I read up here that, yeah, because when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is Jeskai Control, but up here, what would come to be called Jeskai Control. So pretty much like Esper Control, pretty much the same like variant, but this one, like, I don't know, it's weird. Like with Esper Control, you saw most of the same cards that we're used to seeing with it. With Jeskai Control, it's just kind of cards that I haven't seen in the deck. Still the same strategy, but just cards that I'm not used to seeing in the deck. So that one could be fun, but out of all of them, I'd say I'm really hoping to get this Reanimator deck. This just looks really fun. So I guess we'll see what we get. Wish me luck. I mean, all of them I think will be strong contenders, so I think this will be fun. I do want to see, because this seems like an awesome standard to have played in. Maybe if you guys played in it, then you can tell me your experiences with it and whether you enjoyed it. But other than that, I think it's time that I throw it over to the games, guys. Alright guys, so we got Jeskai Control. I don't know, I'm not super excited about this because this wasn't on the list of decks that I wanted to. Well, I did say that I wanted to see how it would play out since it's a little bit different than the Jeskai control I'm used to. We just looked at the deck list, but you guys can kind of see what all we're working with here. Um, I don't know. I think it'll definitely be a good deck. I don't know whether I'm going to be good at piloting it. That's the thing that I'm concerned about because I am not good with control decks. I'm much more on the mid-range aggro type playstyle. But this, I don't know. Didn't we get um, a pretty control-based deck whenever we did rack? Oh, which one was it that I did? Oh, I can't remember which block I did it for. No, it was Shadowmoor block. And we got the Grixis control deck. And we saw how well that went. So we'll see how well this goes. Alright guys, we found our first opponent. We're going up against Sea Nasty. And this hand is kind of nasty. The Sphinx's Rev is really good. We are going second. Having the Sphinx's Rev in hand is just really good. Our land base looks solid. Let's try it. This is just the power card of Esper control and Jeskai control, so hard to pass it up when it's in your opener, but you don't really want it early on. We'll see. I guess it kind of depends on our matchup. Maybe we want it early or not. Ooh, okay. I'm pretty sure that was only in the affinity deck, so let's see how this goes. Well, we'll drop the Clifftop Retreat and pass because I think I'm going to want a Pillar of Flames something. Yep, Ink Moth Nexus is an issue. We can gain as much life as we want to, but we're not going to be recovering poison counters. Sea Nasty. That is a heck of a name. Is our opponent going to make the Ink Moth Nexus into a creature? If I had to guess, I'd say yes. Yeah. Let's take that one. So, Pillar of Flames does seem like the way to go. In which case, we could just play the Glacial Forest, or Fortress, excuse me. Yeah, let's just do that, and then plan on Pillar of Flamesing the Ink Moth Nexus when it swings in. Copperline Gorge. This might not be the affinity deck. It might just have it in it. Oh, is this the oh, what is it? Kessig Wolf Run. Yeah, Kessig Wolf Run. That deck. Okay, and it plays Ink Moth Nexus. Okay, that's pretty neat. So nothing that I really want to cast at this point. I guess we could cast Augur Bolus, but I kind of want to keep the Pillar of Flames open. I don't know whether I want to pay 2 for Hallowed Fountain. I think I will just pay the 2 for Hallowed Fountain and cast Augur and see what we get. I will just always adjust to this. And we hit nothing. So we'll just put them back in any order. Well, that sucks. Not the way we want to start things off. We have a Restoration Angel that we could get that ETB again. I cannot even imagine a standard with Rest Angel in it. That's crazy. That's the thing with these like throwback standard um, leagues. It's just so crazy to see the standards that I wasn't around for. Alright, Huntsmaster. That's not a good start for us. Oh man, I forgot to stop and kill that Huntsmaster. Oh well, I don't think we're going to be doing anything else this turn anyway. So he flips if no spells are cast. So we do not want to pass up the opportunity to shoot this thing. Yeah, definitely should have done that last turn, but those misplays happen, guys. They happen. I guess we'll still hold priority for the Snapcaster, but I don't anticipate us wanting to drop it, not just to get back a Pillar of Flame, especially whenever we couldn't play it because at instant speed. So yeah, we're not going to want to play it on our turn, I don't think. Well, on our opponent's turn, I should say. Makes Inkmoth Nexus a creature. Makes another Inkmoth Nexus a creature. Unfortunately, we're not going to be blocking that. On a 3. Well, that's not good. It's not very good at all. I guess we have to pass here. Our opponent way ahead of us at this point. And we're just stuck here with this Augur Bolus. Couldn't even cast that Sphinx's Revelation. I guess we could, but drawing 0 doesn't seem like the optimal thing to do. Inkmoth. Inkmoth. Go to 5 poison counters. Getting into pretty dangerous territory. 1 more mana could get us a War Leaders going, which would definitely be something I'd like to get going. Steam Vents. Well, I don't really mind paying the life too much, considering where we're at. So I'm going to play it untapped, and I'm going to do nothing. If we play Rest Angel, it has Flash. If we play War Leaders, then we're gonna have the option to do it at instant speed. So I think that we're good here. Rest Angel gives us a flicker as well as the ability to block and surprise block and kill one of the Ink Moths. We'll just get a -1/-1 out of it. Makes Inkmoth a creature. I'm anticipating, yep, doing the same thing. At least we have not seen the Wolf Run come down yet. I am sure that our opponent will be aiming to put it down as soon as possible. Well, let's go Rest Angel. And always yes there. Yes. Augur comes back in and we get ourselves an Azorius Charm. We'll put those 2 lands that I would kind of like to have down below. Go to block step, block here, go to 6 poison counters and get him one less Ink Moth Nexus. Moorland Haunt. What does this one do again? Exile a creature from your graveyard, create only one spirit. That's not incredibly great. Gain lifelink, draw a card, or put target attacking or blocking creature on top of its owner's library. Well, the good thing is we could reset our Restoration Angel. It would come in, new Rest Angel comes in, flicker that one, then use it to flicker Augur. All of those possibilities. Warleader's Helix. 4 damage to target creature or player in game 4 life. We are definitely going to have to do that soon. So let's go Moorland Haunt. And I think we will actually just swing with Rest Angel. Maybe our opponent will get Brave. Maybe try and swing with that other Ink Moth Nexus. We can catch our opponent off guard that way. With another Restoration Angel. Our opponent is at no shortage of land, as any red-green deck should be. He does make Ink Moth Nexus a creature, so it looks like we will get the opportunity to do the aforementioned play. So we will tap, 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 Restoration Angel. Oh, can we not target a Restoration Angel? Oh, non-angel. Okay, well, it works out. It's fine. So we'll get a Think Twice. And an Augur Bolus and a Sacred Foundry. That's not terrible. Go to Block Step. All of these weakened little guys that we have here. I'm excited to have that Think Twice, though. Our opponent goes to tap for something big. And we see... what was that? Oh, Slagstorm. Okay. Alright, well, things could be worse. We're definitely in a better position than we were a few turns ago. Let's go white, blue, Think Twice. Get to a Clifftop Retreat. It's not exactly what I wanted. But 4 mana is 4 mana, so I think we'll pass, keep some counters open, and we'll have Warleader's Helix to do if we get the chance. Looks like our opponent doesn't have much playing this turn. He is only at 2 cards in hand, so he might not have that many options available to him. Alright, so we are back at our starting life, so that is very good for us. We have a Pillar in Flame. Pillar of Flame, not a Pillar in Flame, excuse me. I cannot talk. It's not like that is what I do on this channel or anything. Let's actually pass here, and we can Sphinx's Rev on our opponent's end step, rather. Or we have plenty of counter spells to work away at our opponent with. So, alright, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, or no, undo that. 4, 5, 6, so 3 off the Sphinx Rev. I feel like that's enough value off the Sphinx Rev to be fine. Alright, so we got to land, not much else. Another moorland haunt that doesn't do much for us. I guess we'll go Sulphur Falls, pass. We can make some spirits with moorland haunt. I guess we'll discard a Psychopate since we can get it back with Snapcaster. Oh, we have to... Oh, yeah, we're going to have to discard 2. Crap. I guess we'll discard this Moorland Haunt. We don't really need it. Looks like our opponent not doing anything this turn either. Looks like they're having a little bit of a rough time. Let's Azorius Charm, drawing a card, get a Think Twice. We can, I guess we can go ahead for a Think Twice. Don't want to use my white though, I want to use over here. Oh man, I made too much red mana. Cancel. Make blue. Now Think Twice. Get an island, just not get into anything that we need here. Let's make white and blue. Moorland Haunt, and we'll get rid of an Augur of Bolus. That 1/1 flyer, unfortunately, is not going to win us any games. Rest Angel. Nothing seems good here. Let's plan on flashing back a Think Twice here. Let's go blue, red, red. Think Twice. Drawing a War Leader's Helix. In that case, definitely want to be able to do that. And right now I can. Let's just play the island. That way I can Pillar of Flame and go for the Helix if I need to. I need to pick up the pace here. We are already way behind on time. We'll discard this Steam Vents. This is why I don't like playing control decks. I play too slow for them. Opponent going for something big here. Sphere of Suns. That is fine with me. I'm not gonna fight our opponent over a slow mana rock. Alright, let's go War Leaders, Helix, white, red, colorless, blue. Alright, well, we're making a little bit of progress now as far as our opponent's life total. We could probably win the game next turn if we literally play our cards right, am I right? It's a little Magic the Gathering joke there for you. I do feel bad for our opponent. He has not been drawing too great so far, which is fine because I have not been playing too great so far. That could be a problem. He has access to 1, 2, 5, 6. So we're going to have to go all out on countering that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5, 6, 7. And we'll force our opponent. This is... yeah. So we'll force our opponent to pay 7. And as long as my math isn't completely wrong, that'll be enough. And then we can Pillar Flame just to get that extra damage in. Galvanic Blast. That's fine. So it puts our opponent to 0 cards. I'm just going to go ahead and Pillar Flame now. Oh, wait a minute, we can't. Oh, haha. Yeah. I knew it was a sorcery. We draw another Psychopate. That doesn't help me too much. So all of our creatures there are going to be able to flash in. I'm not going to play the life. We have a pretty good abundance of life right now, but... Oh, I had one more Think Twice that I could have gone for. So go ahead and bring out the Angel, I guess. White, red, I guess. So we'll go for the Angel. And then go blue, white, Moorland. Getting rid of a Rest Angel. So we are getting very, very close to game now. Our opponent is at 0 cards in hand. I'm actually just going to Searing Blaze. Not so much, like normally I wouldn't, but I don't want to run out of time is the biggest thing. Same way I feel about the Think Twice, but at the same time we might find a way to win the game sooner, which would be nice. So we need to do that. No, getting nothing but a Hallowed Fountain, that does not win me the game. What does win me the game is Snapcaster into the card that I want. Red. Undo that. Tap for blue. Snapcaster Mage. Target Warleader's Helix. Resolve Warleader's Helix. Choosing our opponent as target. White, 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 red. Game. Okay, so what do we have coming to us? Another Supreme Verdict. Alright, so we gotta work fast here. Let's figure out what we need to do to win faster, because we need to win much faster. Thundermaw, Hellkite. That doesn't do anything for us in this matchup. Detention Sphere, I don't think does anything. Lose abilities. That's okay, but it's not great. The negates and dispels are kind of mediocre here. I think that I'd rather have the dissipates and the psychopates. The Supreme Verdict seems pretty good. So I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it as it is, honestly. I'm trying to think of what I would actually use Ratchet Bomb for. Celestial Flare. I think an argument can be made for Celestial Flare. Let's go down 1 Dissipate and go up a Celestial Flare, then go down a Pillar of Flame, going up a Celestial Flare, and try it like that. And so now we just got to work fast, 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 fast. This deck is pretty good, though, I gotta say. War Leader's Helix, pretty solid. I hate that it's a 4-drop, but it does put Lightning Helix to shame when it comes to damage. This hand looks okay. There's a lot of nice things happening in this hand. I don't know how many fast things are happening in this hand, though, and that is probably our biggest problem right now. Starts off with an Ink Moth, very reminiscent of how last game went. Let's start out with a tapped Steam Vents and pass. The Pillar of Flame would be great to get rid of Ink Moth Nexus with, except it does not operate at instant speed. Sphere of whatever it is. I can't remember what it's the sphere of, not the spear of. Let's just draw the card. I think I want to go ahead and draw the card. I know, I'm playing a control deck and I'm playing cards. It's crazy. That's the thing that, like, I can't do with control decks. Like, I'm supposed to pass turn, and I'm like, well, I have cards in my hand and untap land. I should play all of them. Our opponent's starting off pretty strong, though. The Celestial Flare seems kind of good here, if I do say so myself. But so does the Pillar of Flame. And I think that that is what's going to happen here. And then pass turn. The ability to Azorius Charm. Or to Izzet Charm. Izzet Charm is our best response to this guy right now. That's fine. I think that I'd rather have that Izzet Charm for something else. Dissipate, and nothing else. Let's pass. We're going to be able to dissipate with our current land base, which is slightly bumming out. Take 4 here. Our opponent sitting on 4 cards in hand, not making the Ink Moth into anything, and not using the Wolf Run. So I'm assuming he has something to play. Birds, not going to do anything about that. Our opponent already has what I would deem to be enough mana to work with, so I think I'm going to let that slip by. Drop a Glacial Fortress. See, I said it right that time. I almost didn't, but I did. Let's pass. See, I'm doing the thing now. I'm passing. Except I'd like to just win the game so that I'm not worried about timing out. You see, a lesser YouTuber might be like, oh, I timed out and that might be boring for people to watch. Me, I spent 10 tickets on this thing. We're getting a video out of it. Oh man. No blockers to declare for us. We are playing a control deck that is waiting to control something. And we don't have anything to control. I think I'm going to... I want to do the Rest Angel, but I don't think I should. I think what I should do is play this Azurius Charm by actually tapping for white mana over here and draw a card. I'm not happy at all about the way this game is going. I guess we just have to go with that. That's not what I want to see. I want to see a way to win the game right now. Let's do a Think Twice. Yeah, I guess we'll tap there. Think Twice. Getting a War Leader's Helix, that could definitely help us out. I guess we're gonna have to play it tapped, because I don't think I can afford to pay for it. Not when the best thing I can do is Snapcaster. And we'll discard a Dissipate. We might succeed in playing fast by just having to scoop. If our opponent chooses to use that Wolf Run, which I think at this point he has to, because this is game for him if he does, or not. That is a Primeval Titan. So considering that War Leader's Helix will not beat that, I think that it's good to conserve time and concede here. What did we have coming? Sometimes Moto just doesn't want to let that draw a card to see what you would have drawn function work. Detention Sphere, as much as I love that card, I don't think it's going to help me here. I keep seeing it thinking. I think we're going to play it here. I mean, we definitely could have stuck it out and seen, whether we could have had a comeback victory. But our only answer to Primeval Titan is the Celestial Purge, or Celestial Flare rather, and we could not do that and cast War Leader's Helix in the same turn, and if we didn't cast War Leader's Helix, we would have died to his other creatures. Plus Celestial Flare, do we get to target? Yeah, he gets to choose, so we were out of it. If we could have played both, we could have saved ourselves for a turn, but it just didn't look like that was going to happen. Just trying to think. Obviously, I've already hit the submit deck, but I was going to say I was going to theorize different things that we could have done with the side deck, but didn't have a chance to do that. We got 6 minutes to work with. I'm gonna keep this because it has land. And I'm going to lead straight off by not tapping for the steam vents and pass turn. Go straight for that Augur Bolus. Try to get some spells, but mainly the reason I like this hand, Augur Bolus and some Restoration Angels. Because we need damaging creatures on board, and although Augur Bolus isn't damage, he's value when you couple him with the Angels. Getting an Azuri's Charm, I'm not going to knock that. Probably would have preferred a couple other things, but this will work. Depending what Augur Bolus manages to pull off the top, this actually could be a fantastic hand. But I'm not exactly thinking this through all that much. This is more raw instinct. But yeah, I would be pretty happy with this hand if I was playing. Goes for the Sphere of Suns, it's fine. The Dispels would have been good against like the Rampant Growth, but I don't know, well, not the Dispels, but the Negates. I just don't know whether it was worth it. Could have been, tell me. Dillon, you idiot, it would have totally been worth it. Alright, we got less than 5 minutes left. We're in the red zone now, guys. We are technically ahead of our opponent, though. Just not far enough ahead to be winning the game. Especially whenever you look over our opponent's side and see the amount of mana that he's sitting on. That is enough for a Primeval Titan. Huntsman. Normally I would be really afraid of that, but I think I'm actually going to let it pass through. I could counter it, but at this point actually putting down the Restoration Angel is more valuable to me, which is a sad state of affairs to be in. But what can you do? We play the hand that we're dealt. So we'll mash through this, yes. Get the Dissipate, putting away some land. Sacred Foundry, I don't think it's worth it to play it, cast it out. Well, I mean, paid for. Doesn't change the way our play would go if we do, so. Problem is, if this thing flips, then it becomes more than we can really handle, unless we get a War Storm, well, War Master's Helix. And if we do, then I think that I would just prefer. Oh crap! This thing has that ability. Well, I can just Rest Angel in and flicker it. Which would have brought Rest Angel in anyway, just probably would have waited until my end step. Oh yeah, I can't do Angels, I forgot about that. take the think twice. Unfortunately... Oh, he only deals 2 to it anyway. Oh my gosh. Little Dillon got so afraid. I should still be afraid. I'm at 324. My opponent is at 17 life, and I'm playing a control deck. I'm actually just going to take the damage here because I gotta win. I don't have time to lose any of my creatures. Am I going to get Primeval Titaned? What am I going to get? That's too much mana for a Primeval Titan. A Green Sun Zenith, that will get a Primeval Titan though. Oh man. You see, when you don't do that, that's when you actually have available to you to play counterspells. Which we did have. That's what we call a misplay, kids. We can just like stack it back on top, but man, we need to try to get something off the top. Think twice. Alright, well, now we can't even Celestial Flare. I mean, it'll still get the battle trigger, but we can bounce it, which I guess is the right thing. I mean, definitely it is, or else the thing's gonna beat us to death. But we would have already had to play that earlier to make it lose its abilities. What's interesting here is that we're going to bounce it now. And the interesting thing about that is this will resolve first. So it goes back on top, then he can make his Primeval Titan search. So he has the choice of whether he wants to actually draw it or not. And chances are he probably does want to draw it. But chances are he probably wants to search more than he wants to draw it next turn. At 11 life, we can do 6. Because this is an optional search, so he could choose to skip the search, which looks like he is doing. Understandable. We're going to take this 4 here. We have 6 on board. This can do 2 to him. So that gets us to 8. That leaves him with 3. We need another burn spell. It's casting something pretty sizable though. I don't think he has any form of life gain though. That Inferno Titan is going to be annoying. 1, 2, or 3 creatures. So no matter what, he cannot kill the Restoration Angels. Okay. What do we got? Beast Within, targeting. Okay, so I'm going to cast Psychopate for 1. But when I have to do things like that, it eats up my timer. And I wanted those 2 lands so that I could meld turn and burn next turn. Rest Angel, so we can win this. We legit can win this game. In fact, I feel like it's inevitable that we win this game. So we need to stop him when he moves to combat step. And I need to make sure that that happens. So, acidic slime, what does that blow up? Target artifact, enchantment, or land. Okay, well we just have to do it now then. We're going to go ahead and cast Turn with no burn, targeting Inferno Titan. But I don't see a way that we lose as long as I don't manage to time out my opponent has 2 cards in hand. I can block all but 1 of that damage with Augur. So unless he can burn us for 6 right now. Alright, so we'll, just to be safe, we will put up Glacial Fortress, but we're going to go straight into our combat. Swing with both of these angels for 6. We have 2 counter spells to work off of. Yep, there we go. Okay, so with a minute 13 to spare, and honestly, I mean, I feel like that game was pretty solid, and despite keeping a somewhat risky hand, I feel like it paid off really well. We definitely could have played better. I'm not going to deny that. I gotta quit doing these because I cannot play control decks properly. I need to somehow guarantee myself to get mid-range and aggro decks because control is just not my beast. Is there any way I can jump to my deck? Yeah. Maybe we can just look it over while I'm closing things out. But anyway, that was the games, guys. I love doing these. Like, I hope that you guys like them. I'd like to do more of them. I think the throwback standards are really fun. If you were playing the game at that time, then obviously you kind of get a little bit of a nostalgia trip. And if you weren't, then you get to learn about the history of the game, which is why I enjoy it. But leave a comment down below telling me what you think. Do you like doing these videos? And if you want to try these out, like I said, they're 10 tickets, so for 10 bucks you get 3 games out of it. The decks are random. I somewhat wish that they weren't, but I do like it because then everybody isn't picking the same deck. So it's neat. I really do enjoy them. I don't know because the next one coming up I think starts the 2nd week of November and it's recent history, so I don't know like what the next one will be. I don't know whether they're gonna start over or do something different. But yeah, that was the game. I'm excited to see how we do in the next 2 games. I'm nervous. But I hope that you guys can bear with my terrible control play for another 2 games. I will try to be a faster player, but all of that are promises that I can't necessarily make. I'm trying to become a different type of player altogether in a couple of days, but I will try. I know that I'll do everything I can for you guys. I'll make the videos you want and play them in the most control-y way I can if possible. But leave a like down below if you want to show some support. I appreciate it. All of us do here, and be sure to subscribe to the channel to see all of my videos, as well as the videos from all of the other wonderful creators here at Strat, including you saw that Dan made a video, so of course you want to subscribe so that you can see the lovable Dan back in action again. Of course, you're not going to want to miss that video, so check that one out as well. So you can also go over to my Facebook page and to my YouTube channel. All of that will be down in the link below. That way you can see all of my videos that I do over there, as well as on my channel. On my Facebook page, I post all the videos that I post for this channel, as well as when I'll be recording for videos, so you guys can keep up to date on when I'll be recording, and that way you can jump in and participate in some of the games and have a lot of fun. So all of those buttons that you can click and have plenty of fun clicking them. So all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.